very big hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you, and thank you for joining us on this webinar. I'm Enoch Mufikwe, Training and Development Practitioner for Geotab Africa. And in today's session, I will be taking you guys through our product offering or rate plans and what features can you benefit from each level of our plans. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. However, before we get into the presentation, I would like to take the opportunity just to quickly introduce Geotab. Geotab is an advanced fleet telematics company that was founded in 1996, and from the very start, we were committed to providing, Geotab was committed to providing an innovative fleet telematics to big and small businesses in various sectors through their technology. It all started with the Go Key device that worked wonders and was extremely effective for that time. However, the challenge was that the vehicle had to return to the depot or the central point for a company or line manager to download the data for the particular vehicle. But obviously technology moved on. And fast forward to 2005, Geotab launched the Go Live, and this is what we know and understand telematics today. The device allowed companies to access data in real time. In 2012, this was the groundbreaking point in telematics for Geotab. This is when Geotab Go was launched, and it was the first in telematics. The device had the ability to integrate with third-party devices like your Garmin's, door triggers, and is also referred to as the iOS Expandability. In 2018, Geotab reached 1 million subscribers. And by the start of 2020, Geotab reached 2 million subscribers, doubling their database within 2 years, thus making Geotab the #1 commercial telematics vendor worldwide. Geotab's devices also received FIPS 140-2 validation, which in a way, I know it sounds a bit complicated, but it simply means, simply and importantly means that your company's data is extremely secure, and the certificate is there to prove that as well. What you're seeing here is Geotab's current global presence and African footprint. And as you can see in the image at the bottom right corner, Geotab has managed to penetrate all 7 continents, and from their 2 million and more devices, collect over 40 billion data points and more than 100 million miles or 160 million kilometers driven daily. Now, that is a lot of data for a daily count. Okay, wouldn't you agree? And if you consider Geotab's global footprint, you have the ability to run your operations from almost anywhere in the world where Geotab's technology has made its mark. And a lot of Geotab's international customers enjoy this as they are able to set rules and regulations in place and put this across the board, regardless of country or territories. Now, looking at Geotab, we have 6 pillars of innovation, which are productivity, safety, optimization, expandability, compliance, and the last one being sustainability. And our rate plans are structured according to these pillars. With that being said, I think we can jump straight into our rate plan discussion. Geotab offers customers 3 convenient package options or rate plans, as we refer to them, being the base mode, the Pro mode, and lastly, the ProPlus mode. Now, the base mode being our entry level offers GPS location, which later helps with monitoring trip history and generating trip history reports. Other features include VIN number identification, and on the base mode, you will have to insert this manually. We also see that features such as driver identification and basic iOS support are also offered on the base mode. The driver ID is a useful feature when you have vehicles allocated to specific drivers, or if you vice versa, where any one of your drivers can drive any vehicle, however, identifying who is driving which vehicle being crucial to your company. This can also help you with scorecards, which is a good way to motivate your drivers to take good care of the vehicles. Now, the Pro mode or the Pro rate plan is Geotab's second rate plan available, and it offers the functionality of the entry plan, which is the base mode as just discussed, and adds support for engine as well as accelerometer data. So basically, what this means to you is that now you start having access to odometer data for things like total fuel used, your RPM, engine faults, etc. And the accelerometer data allows you to have information on things like harsh braking and harsh turning, for example, which is part of our safety pillar for innovation. Now, the ProPlus plan is Geotab's third and highest, and it offers the greatest functionality, including things like active tracking or live vehicle location, where the map is updated with live vehicle movement and real-time audible alerts or verbal coaching for rules-based driver feedback. This rate plan also comes with a lifetime warranty and premium services. Looking at the productivity pillar, so now let's have a deeper look at some of the features offered by Geotab. Under the productivity pillar, we have the following features: GPS vehicle tracking. Now, here this is where instant GPS tracking is used using our patented curve-based algorithms for optimal recording. And as mentioned earlier on, this is useful when you want to access trip history information of your fleet and for generating trip history reports. The trip history gives you detailed information of the trip or the trips done by your vehicles. Things like the speed your driver was traveling at any stage of the trip and what the speed limit is of that road as per Google Maps. And it also gives an indication of exceptions or rules broken by the drivers on those particular trips. Speaking of the rules and exceptions, we have rules and exceptions that are highly flexible and customizable and editable, and you get default rules and exceptions like seat belts, speeding, vehicle movement within identified zones, just to name a few. You can turn these rules on or off depending on your organizational needs. Now, besides the default rules that I've just mentioned, you can add and create your own rules that works best for your fleet. Now, it is important that you remember that some of these rules are dependent on which rate plan you are on. For example, a rule for harsh braking or cornering will only be available for clients who are on the Pro and the Pro Plus rate plans. For vehicle location, this is where you can locate the closest vehicle by address. And this feature has been in the past years useful with clients for dispatching purposes and driver-to-driver assistance in times of emergency breakdowns. Just to explain it, by simply putting in an address and searching the nearest vehicle, you can maximize on distance and availability of the vehicles. For example, on the Pro and the Pro Plus mode, fleet control can send messages to identify drivers through compatible Garmin devices. And with a simple click of a button, a planned route and address can be sent to the driver for dispatch. Now, vehicle location and driver ID are available on all the rate plans, and the two-way messaging is only available on the Pro and the Pro Plus mode. Looking at safety, the safety aspect is very important for Geotab. Now, this is because the safety of your drivers means the safety of your vehicles, which are both your company's most valuable assets. So when it comes to this, we have basic driver coaching and advanced driver coaching. So basic driver coaching is where you have audible alerts and notifications for things like speeding, idling, and driver identification. And these are available on all three rate plans, where advanced driver coaching, however, is only available on the Pro and the Pro Plus rate plans. Here you have audible alerts and notifications for things like harsh braking, sharp cornering, over acceleration, seatbelt use, vehicle in reverse, over reffing, etc. Plus the basic driver coaching as mentioned and customizable server-side rules and exceptions. The driver coaching is actually done through a beeping device that has various beeps for things like harsh cornering, for example, encouraging the driver to change and start practicing improved driver behavior. Optimization. Fleet optimization focuses on how you can ensure that you optimize as much as possible from the condition of your vehicles. For example, you get vehicle maintenance reminders scheduled by time or distance. You also get fuel management platforms. This is where you can track fuel ups, fuel drains, fuel thefts, fuel cut integration, etc. And lastly, you get engine status data for all major engine protocols. For example, fuel usage, voltage, coolants, as well as the temperatures of your engine. Another key point or other key points for optimization is device installation. This is where you have easy device installation with self-calibrating accelerometer. However, so most of the features that I've just discussed with you for fleet optimization falls under engine data. And as mentioned earlier on, the base plan does not come with engine data. It is only when you get to the Pro and the Pro Plus that you get engine and accelerometer data. Okay, now looking at expandability. Fleet expandability, this is in simple terms, it means that if you want to expand on your functionality, you can now integrate with third-party devices. And this is where the Geotab marketplace comes in handy, as companies around the world can put their products on the marketplace. And based on your preferences and needs, Geotab can integrate some of those third-party devices rather. And just a reminder again, that on the base plan, the IOX expandability is limited. On the expandability, you also get a snapshot of your fleet. This is where customizable dashboards are easily accessible. You can choose from over 30 reports which ones you want as part of your dashboard. And like I said, they are all customizable, and these reports are limited on the base mode, where on the Pro and the Pro Plus, you have access to all our reports and you can customize them based on your industry or organization's preferences. For compliance, this is where you get the watchdog feature. Now, the watchdog feature is basically a useful report, and it has tampering detection and provides a detailed report of the status of the devices, and it is available on all the plans. This is a useful feature to ensure that all your installed devices are not tampered with, as this could be costly to your organization. The watchdog also gives you access to monitoring the status of the Geotab devices. For example, are all the devices still functioning? And if not, which ones are not? This can also help identify which vehicles are not being used in order to make sure that some are not being overused, ensuring that your kilometers on the vehicles as well as usage and wear and tear is kept as balanced as much as possible. And over to the right of the slide, We also have the Geotab Drive, which is a mobile app, and this is bring your own device, meaning it's a mobile one, and it ensures that all your drivers can actually have access to this mobile app, the Geotab Drive. It helps you and your entire fleet to achieve stronger compliance to regulatory changes, and it increases the safety of your drivers and reduces your fleet's administration costs. The Geotab Drive solution provides the data your company needs with a customized vehicle inspection, eliminating guesswork, thus increasing your fleet's overall efficiency and all your operations ahead of the curve. Now, for the Geotab Drive, it is available for all our rate plans offered by Geotab. Looking at sustainability, under sustainability, you get CO2 emissions reporting. This is an effective report for companies looking to reduce their carbon footprint and contribute to the goal of a healthy environment. The CO2 emission values are easy to read in chart or graphical format. These reports are used and designed for petrol or diesel vehicles. And looking at the fuel and maintenance management, fuel is the operating expense for fleets. It has a huge impact on your business or any business in the fleet industry, and a very big impact on the atmosphere as carbon emissions. This is why managing fuel consumption is the key goal of many, perhaps most, fleet managers. Geotab offers industry-leading metrics and reports to improve fuel consumption, and the fuel efficiency reports use fuel consumption data to make comparison between drivers or vehicles in order to target improvement areas. Furthermore, this allows fleet managers to monitor any driving behavior that is linked to increased fuel costs. Geotab's fuel management system is key to reducing CO2 emissions. So guys, that is basically the end of our rate plan discussion. And based on the comparisons that I've just discussed with you, to get the most from Geotab's telematics technology for your fleet, being on the Pro and the Pro Plus makes more sense and more efficiency as more features are now available. Thus, you're making use of the expandability of the Geotab's devices. And as mentioned, for all your questions, please put them on the Q&A chat box. And I see at the moment we do not have any questions. Please remember that if you are watching this webinar at a later stage through our social media platforms, you can also get in touch with us or get in contact with our team on www.geotabafrica.com. Send us an email at info@geotabafrica.com, or just give us a call and our team will be ready to assist you on 011 564 5400. And be sure to link up with us on our social media. We are on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as on YouTube. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to say thank you, stay safe, and goodbye.